High school sports are brought to you in part by Wolverine Power Cooperative and by Great Lakes Energy. Your local electric cooperative is looking out for you.
Third quarter action on the horizon here on senior night at Veterans Memorial Stadium for the Michigan High School football game of the week between the Gaylord Blue Devils and the Cadillac Vikings. And the host squad leads the Gaylord Blue Devils by a score of 28-7 heading into the third quarter. I'm Derek Tate, and thank you for joining us here on Newsnet Sports. How we arrived at 28-7. It was a rough start for the Vikings offense as they fumbled away the football, 2 turnovers on their first 2 drives. And on the second one, it was recovered by Quinn Schultz, and then he ended up punching it in from the 1-yard line to give the Gaylord Blue Devils a 7-0 advantage. But then from that point on, it's been all Cadillac as their rushing attack has absolutely taken over. Noah Cochran scored a 20-yard score. Then Carter Harsh, on the first play of the second quarter, scored a 40-yard touchdown run. And then Gurdon, to close out the action, scored a pair of touchdowns. One a 76-yard variety and the other being of a 9-yard variety. And that is how we have arrived at 28-7. It is Gaylord that will start with the football, and they have a 21-point deficit to try to chip into to start the third quarter. Kick is short and gathered by Gavin Freeman. Right around the 18-yard line, a return of 10 before he's dropped by Carter Harsh, and that is where Corey Deere and the Gaylord offense will look to dip into this 21-point deficit. We actually may have a new quarterback under center. It looks as if calling the plays. We've got Adam Dost, and he is lined up at the quarterback spot with Quinn Schultz to his right. 1st and 10 for Gaylord. High snap, and that one is over the head of Adam Dost, and he falls on it at the 10-yard line. And that's not the way you want to start the third quarter. It's like trying to walk through the front door and stubbing your toe on the welcome sign. Significant loss, 17-yard loss. Check that, 18. 2nd and 27, 28-ish. We'll call it 27 and a half. Rough start for Gaylord. That's not the way you want to settle in your new quarterback by shooting the ball 10 feet over his head. 2nd and 27. Dost. Another high snap. This one Dost gets on, but he is going to be dropped in the end zone for a safety. Luke Enyard. Beautiful play by the senior, and on back-to-back plays to start the second half. All kinds of issues with the snap. 2 of them sail over Adam Dost's head. The first one for a 17-yard loss, the second one for a safety. And the Vikings extend their lead 30-7. And I imagine that head coach Sean Sargent of the Gaylord Blue Devils has to just be shaking his head, throwing a clipboard. Whatever way he's deciding to go ahead and display his frustration is warranted after back-to-back arid snaps. So now the Gaylord Blue Devils, who always had that in their back pocket, that they were going to start the second half with possession of the football, gives it right away. And now the Vikings will look to add to their 3-score advantage after the safety. This kicks a good one all the way to the 38-yard line. It's Carter Harsh. He is now into Gaylord territory, cutting it back, still going, but finally dropped. Dropped by Austin Vanderveer, the junior DB. Looks like there's a flag on the play, so the officials seem to be marching the football back into Cadillac territory. And it's going to be on the Vikings. Cadillac still in business, though. 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line, as opposed to the Vikings being in Gaylord territory at the 45. Aiden Gurdon going to work. First possession offensively for the Vikings. 2 touchdowns in the first half on the ground for Gurdon. Harsh in motion. Give goes straight ahead to Noah Cochran. And Cochran also topped the century mark on the ground in the opening half. Gain of 4. Colin Shelniak on the stop for Gaylord. Second down for the Vikings. Just shy of midfield. Harsh in motion. Give goes to Cochran. Excuse me, that is Caleb McKinley on this carry. Check that. The sophomore, rumbling forward on consecutive carries. Gain of 5 brings it to 3rd and 1 at the 46. We mentioned that heading into this game, the Vikings to impose your will offensively, and they have done just that. 3rd and 1, and this is another gashing carry right through the A-gap. Caleb McKinley looking like he was shot out of a cannon. And that's going to be a gain of 13 for the sophomore, and that garners a first down, the first one of the Vikings' second half. Gurdon under center on 1st and 10. Option right. Football is on the ground, and it looks like somehow, fortuitously, Gurdon appears to have wrestled the football away. And really, the Vikings offense, ever since turning the football over on consecutive drives to start the game, they have cleaned it up offensively, have just been dominant. But a little bit of issues with the mesh point between the junior Gurdon and the sophomore McKinley. So much of that option offense relies on timing and for the quarterback to be able to ride the fullback while he reads the defensive end. 2nd and 12. Gurdon gives McKinley. And McKinley is brought down by a host of Gaylord defenders leading the charge. Austin Vanderveer, his second tackle of the second half, gets back what they lost. Gain of 3 will bring up a 3rd and long. Cadillac hasn't seen many 3rd and long down and distance so far tonight. It'll be interesting to see if head coach Mallory decides to go ahead and let Aiden Gurdon air it out. Gurdon under center on 3rd down. Harsh in motion. It's going to be Gurdon on the quarterback sweep. Stays on his feet after contact, falls forward, and that'll move the chains. He needed 9, he got 11. And Gurdon continues to do all kinds of damage on the ground with his legs. And that's to no surprise. The leading rusher for this Cadillac offense heading into this game, and has even added to that total with his 3rd 100-yard rushing effort of the season. 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 22. Harsh in motion. Gurdon gives. That's Caleb McKinley. And this Blue Devil defense is getting a heavy dose of the sophomore. 6-yard gain from Caleb McKinley. And now the Vikings are in the red zone, where they have been money on the evening. Cadillac needs to get to the 10-yard line for a first down. 2nd and 4. Gurdon back to pass, looking for Colin Hess. Hess can't quite haul it in, a little too high. Gurdon upset with himself. Good coverage by Logan Ford, the senior DB. Gurdon looked like he was throwing a 8-yard out route to Colin Hess. Air mailed that just a little bit. Again, tough conditions out here tonight to try to throw the football. And we've got a 3rd and 4 for the Vikings offense. Try to draw the Blue Devils off sides. They reset. 3rd and 4. Gurdon on the keeper. Gurdon was contacted behind the first down marker, but his second effort dragging the defender that was Quinn Schultz. It looks like he's going to drag him past the first down marker. First down, Cadillac. And the way they mark it, it would appear they are just at the 10-yard line, so it will be 1st and goal from the 10. Last goal to go situation, Gurdon took care of the deed himself. 1st and goal. Gurdon gives McKinley inside the 5-yard line. Tell that sophomore wants to find pay dirt. Austin Vanderveer, he's been busy for the Blue Devil defense. 7-yard carry by McKinley. That'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 3. Would not be shocked to see if they call McKinley's number yet again. Gurdon, option left, give McKinley, trying to power his way to the end zone. And it looks like that Gaylord defense stood tall and proud and kept him just shy of that goal line. And that'll bring up 3rd and goal with less than a yard. Reinhold in motion. Give goes to McKinley. McKinley into the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. Caleb McKinley with his first rushing touchdown of the season. And the Vikings extend their lead 36-7. Impressive drive from the Vikings. 65-yard drive to capitalize on consecutive snaps that went over the head of the quarterback, the last one resulting in a safety against Gaylord. Colin Hess, his extra point is good, as the Vikings lead the Gaylord Blue Devils here on senior night at Veterans Memorial Stadium, 37-7. Take this opportunity on a cold, wet, and rainy night to thank our crew. Wyatt Van Dynen directing, and then handling 2 cameras down there from the Career Tech Center. Student Miley, she's doing an absolutely fantastic job braving the elements. And while we're at it, speaking of thanking folks, we have to thank our sponsors for bringing you tonight's Michigan High School football game of the week here on Newsnet Sports. Wolverine Power Cooperative, Great Lakes Energy, and Douglas, your window shop specialist here in Cadillac, Michigan. 37 unanswered points from the Cadillac Vikings after the Gaylord Blue Devils took a 7-0 lead. It's been all Cadillac. Gaylord decided to go ahead and go with a different quarterback to start the second half. And none of it's been his fault. Just 2 plays that have resulted in negative 35 yards. Colin Hess to kick off. Gavin Freeman receives it at the 15-yard line. Freeman in trouble and finally shoved out of bounds. Looks like there's going to be a flag, potentially a holding call. on Quinn Schultz. He was trying to deal with Keenan Saminsky. And it is holding on Gaylord. We talked about the Vikings. Their number one key to victory tonight was containing quarterback Corey Deer. Now, we have not gotten any word on whether or not Corey Deer suffered some sort of injury, which is leading to Adam Doss now under center. But they pretty much bottled up Corey Deer outside of a couple quarterback sneaks here and there. And we'll see how they do against Adam Doss, who has played mostly at wide receiver. 1st and 10 for Gaylord. Freeman in motion. Here's a quarterback give to Freeman on the jet sweep. Finds a little bit of running room around that right side. Brought down just shy of the 25-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and 4. And when Gaylord has been able to get positive gains of 5 or more yards on 1st down, they've moved the ball quite well. It's just when they come up empty on 1st and 2nd down and 4th and 3rd and longs that they've struggled. 2nd and 4 for Gaylord. Quinn Schultz on the carry. And the Vikings rally to the football. Trenton Dennis on the stop. The junior. So we've seen this Vikings defense in hot pursuit all evening long. Multiple tackles for losses as they held this Gaylord offense to only 7 points in the 21-7 victory back in week 2. And it's been tough sledding ever since the opening score for Gaylord. Here's 3rd and 3. Quinn Schultz lunging ahead. He's going to be close to the sticks, but it looks like he's going to be cut down just shy of the 1st down marker. Andrew Johns on the stop, able to trip him up prior to him getting the distance to go to extend the drive. And Quinn Schultz is now back there to punt to replace Corey Deer as the punter. But we all know Schultz can run, and we've got a 4th and 1 and a 30-point deficit. And they are going to punt. Schultz's kick is right around the 50-yard line. It may even hit that 50-yard marker. And Cadillac will have their 2nd offensive possession of the 2nd half begin in Gaylord territory. Right at the 49-yard line, they take over with a 30-point advantage, 37-7, over the Gaylord Blue Devils with 2:55 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Gurdon with 2 rushing touchdowns. Caleb McKinley scored a rushing touchdown. Now Noah Cochran with a score. This option attack has been firing on all cylinders. And we still have Aiden Gurdon in the game. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. Gurdon gives. Noah Cochran re-enters the game, and he plunges his way into Gaylord territory. That'll bring up 2nd down after a gain of 5. And Gaylord hasn't really been beat out much on the edge when it comes to this option attack. It's more so been Gurdon and Cochran taking turns gashing this defense. 2nd and 6 for Cadillac. It's actually McKinley now in under center. He gives to Noah Cochran. Powers ahead past the 45-yard line. Brought down just shy of the 40. Gain of a long 3. That'll bring up 3rd and 3 for the Vikings. Caleb McKinley replacing Aiden Gurdon under center. Doing a little bit of everything is Caleb McKinley. 3rd down for the Vikings. McKinley on the quarterback keeper. He's got the 1st down and engages with 3 different Blue Devil defenders. And it's easy to see why they want to get Caleb McKinley, this talented sophomore, involved. Gain of 5. That'll move the chains. 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 35-yard line with 1:30 remaining in the third quarter. Final 90 seconds. McKinley under center. Option right. And it's Cochran who sidesteps one tackler and now inside the 20-yard line, rumbling all the way to the 15. What a night for the senior fullback, Noah Cochran. You kind of feel as if they could have just handed the ball to Noah Cochran and asked him to run 38 or 39 dive in the A-gap on either side all night. He is cooking. Another first down for the Vikings. Just over 1 minute remaining in the third. McKinley. He's going to keep it this time. And another chunk gain on the ground for the Vikings. They are now inside the 10-yard line on a second straight possession. Look like a 7-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 3 from the 8-yard line, as this may be the final play of the third quarter. With 35 seconds left. Vikings trying to add to their 30-point lead. McKinley just scored his first rushing touchdown of the 2020 season. Will he see a second? Harsh in motion. Give Cochran. And he is going to be stacked up just before the 5-yard line, and it looks like to begin the fourth quarter, we'll see a 3rd and 1 on the way. As the Cadillac Vikings extend their lead, they add 9 points in the third quarter. They now lead the Gaylord Blue Devils 37-7. Stay tuned as we conclude our Michigan High School football game of the week here on NewsNet Sports.
Doug Glass is ready to make the bathroom of your dreams a reality. Doug Glass is a full-service provider of quality custom shower doors. We offer a wide selection of models, finishes, and glass options. From cast to pattern glass, we can custom build a shower door perfect for your bathroom. Stop in and see the heavy glass displays in our showroom. And remember, Doug Glass also offers puller seal windows and patio doors. We're also your local source for auto glass, from windshields to side and rear windows. Whatever are your needs, call or visit Doug Glass today for a free estimate.
Our mission at the Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center is to prepare you for career success. During your junior and senior year, you can explore and train for career options in one of 15 hands-on programs. While you're exploring and training, you can take advantage of free college credits, scholarships, co-op on-the-job training, industry certifications, and career counseling. All of this while you're in high school. Enrollment is easy and free. Are you ready to explore and train for your career at the Wexford Misaki Career Tech Center?
High school sports are brought to you in part by Wolverine Power Cooperative and by Great Lakes Energy. Your local electric cooperative is looking out for you.
Fourth quarter action here for the Michigan High School football game of the week. Vikings looking to add to their 37-7 lead on 3rd and 1. It's Caleb McKinley who will move the chains, and they'll have a 1st and goal to go to open the fourth quarter, as the Vikings lead the Gaylord Blue Devils 37-7. I'm Derek Tate here on NewsNet Sports. Thank you for joining us for our season finale here on the Michigan High School football game of the week. And it's been all Vikings. They've got a 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. It's McKinley under center, the sophomore. And the hard count and the snap motion gets the Blue Devils to jump off sides. That is their 3rd offsides penalty on the night. Half the distance to the goal, and we'll have 1st and goal from the 1. We'll see which direction the Vikings decide to go here on 1st and goal. McKinley, quarterback keeper. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. 2nd rushing touchdown of the night for the sophomore Caleb McKinley. He didn't score the previous 5 games, but he is making his presence felt here on senior night at Veterans Memorial Stadium, as the Vikings now lead the Gaylord Blue Devils 43-7. Seems to be a little bit of miscommunication on the extra point. Wouldn't be surprised if we have ourselves a timeout. Bryce Benjelink, a little miscommunication. And it's a timeout from head coach Cody Mallory. And we'll go ahead and get you caught up on how we arrived at 43-7. If you are just now joining us here on NewsNet Sports for the Michigan High School Football Game of the Week, you might look at the scoreboard and wonder how the Gaylord Blue Devils scored first. They actually had a 7-0 lead at one point in the first quarter after the Cadillac Vikings fumbled on their opening 2 offensive possessions to start the game. It was a 1-yard touchdown run from Quinn Schultz for Gaylord to get them on the board and a 7-0 advantage before the Vikings have now scored 43 unanswered points, 2 rushing touchdowns from Caleb McKinley, 2 rushing touchdowns from Aiden Gurdon, a rushing touchdown for Carter Harsh, and a 20-yarder from Noah Cochran. And also a safety that was added on the second snap of the third quarter on consecutive plays where the snap went over the quarterback's head. The second one resulted in a safety. Now Colin Hess trots onto the football field. This will be his 6th extra point attempt of the evening. Snap is down, kick is up, and it's good. As the Cadillac Vikings, with 11:15 remaining in tonight's contest, have a 37-point lead over the Gaylord Blue Devils, 44-7. It's a great opportunity to go ahead and thank our sponsors, which are the reason why we're able to bring you the Michigan High School Football Game of the Week action for the 2020 season. Wolverine Power Cooperative, Great Lakes Energy, and Doug Glass, the window shop specialist here in Cadillac, Michigan. So we take a look back heading into the opening kickoff. The Gaylord Blue Devils sitting at 1-4. They knew they had to play assignment football to slow down the triple option. They had to win on first and second down on the offensive end and the defensive end to go ahead and force this Vikings unit into 3rd and longs, try to force Aiden Gurdon to try to throw the football in tough rainy conditions and finish drives. Now they did finish the first drive that they got inside the 10-yard line. They just haven't had that many opportunities. And unfortunately, they have not been able to slow down this Cadillac rushing attack, led by a fantastic offensive line unit for the Vikings up front. Seems like they've just been running behind Carson Razio, Ryan Wood, Ryan Warner, and Bryce Benjelink all game long. Colin Hess to kick off. Here's a bit of a squibber picked up by Bennett Sides right around the 30-yard line. Return of 7 before he's slung down. Luke Enyart been all over the place defensively and even on special teams. As it's going to continue to be Adam Dost under center now for the Gaylord Blue Devils. The junior quarterback, standing 6'2", 170. We'll see what he can do against this stout Vikings defensive unit. As we have a running clock now here in the third quarter. Dost looking for Freeman right in the bread bucket. And it's Gavin Freeman up the right sideline. He coughs it up. Fumble, and it's recovered by Connor Anderson right around the 20-yard line. A great defensive play by the senior Dan Gray, hustling down the field to poke the ball loose. And it's another turnover for the Gaylord Blue Devils. Head coach Cody Mallory mentioned how important it was to see Dan Gray and guys like Noah Cochran, Ryan Wood, Luke Enyart, who played and had some rough learning experiences as sophomores. They've all come into their own here in the 2020 season, and a great play from Dan Gray. As we have a timeout from Gaylord. So we go ahead and now that it's a 35-point lead, as we mentioned before, now a timeout will stop the clock, but outside of that, we will have a running clock. And really, when speaking to head coach Cody Mallory of the Cadillac Vikings, of course, they're looking forward to the playoffs. They're going to have a first-round bye. But he mentioned tonight that this team was a full go, and they haven't played a clean game yet on both sides of the football from start to finish. But he wanted them to play violent football tonight. And boy, have they been physical up front against this Gaylord Blue Devil unit. He said he wasn't going to get cute, and he hasn't. He has continued to keep the pedal to the metal as the Vikings have the possession again, 1st and 10. And there's a little bit of a counter tray. Couldn't quite catch who got the carry, but little to no gain. 22, Dan Gray. They rewarded him with a carry. On the stop was Braden Goutreau, who recovered a fumble in the first half on the opening possession, courtesy of Noah Cochran. But it's been quiet ever since for Goutreau. 2nd and 9 for the Vikings. Pitch goes to Dan Gray. Sidesteps one would-be tackler, but the Gaylord Blue Devils do a good job scraping down the line of scrimmage. And that'll be 55 on the stop. Connor Abraham. First tackle of the evening for the junior Blue Devil. Vikings will have 3rd and 8. 8:46 remaining in tonight's contest. Reinhold in motion. Looks like it's Noah Cochran who got the call. Fullback dive. Not much doing. And that will bring up 4th down after the gain of 4. And on trots Colin Hess and the rest of the punting unit for the Cadillac Vikings. First punt of the evening for Cadillac offensively. Back to receive for Gaylord. Rylan Borowiak. And this time it's the Vikings who move prior to the snap. That'll back up Cadillac on the false start. Cost him 5. Under 8 minutes remaining here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. This is the type of momentum that head coach Cody Mallory is looking to take into the postseason. Good snap to Colin Hess. Kick is up. And Borowiak is nowhere near that one as it's a short kick. A net of 25 yards on the punt. And this is some of the best field position that the Gaylord Blue Devils have seen the entire evening. In fact, the last time they started their drive on the 45-yard line of the Cadillac Vikings, they scored their lone touchdown of the evening. Adam Dost, still your leading man under center for Gaylord. We still have Quinn Schultz in at tailback. 1st and 10 for Gaylord. Dost gives Schultz around the left edge. A little stiff arm before he shoved out of bounds by Keenan Saminsky. One of the better runs of the evening for Quinn Schultz. Gain of 6, 5, 6-ish. I'll bring up 2nd down inside the 40-yard line. It's been a challenging set of conditions out there for the players. Mucked up field and a lot of rain. Dost gives to Schultz. Schultz met in the backfield, spins out of one would-be tackler, reverses his field before he's finally slung out of bounds by Connor Anderson. Gain of 5. He's going to be right near the sticks. We'll see if they mark him just shy, or if he actually picks, no, he'll be just a little bit short. And I'll bring up 3rd and 1 with 5:30 remaining. As we'll see if Gaylord can find the end zone to finish this regular season of Michigan high school football 2020 version, and one that we feel lucky that we're even able to have, given all of the challenging circumstances around the country. 3rd and 1. Dost under center, quarterback sneak, and on all short yardage situations where they've tried a quarterback keeper, it has been effective. That'll move the chains. 4:55 remaining in tonight's contest, and 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils offense. Just shy of the 30-yard line. This Vikings defense, again, they've only given up 21 points in their 3 losses. Their two losses, prior to this. And they may average right around. Dost to Freeman. He's got his man. He's got him in the open field. Slips a tackle into the end zone. Gavin Freeman, touchdown, Gaylord. A 30-yard touchdown pass. Adam Dost to Gavin Freeman, the junior-to-junior connection. And the Gaylord Blue Devils find pay dirt with 4 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. That's the 3rd time they've completed that little bubble screen, and this time it went to the house. Hayden Collins on to attempt the extra point. Slips, but the kick still goes up and through the uprights. Who put the banana peel out there from Mario Kart? 44-14. Vikings on top. 4:20 remaining here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. And again, got to give one more shout out to the crew. Director Wyatt Van Dynen. And from the Career Tech Center, Miley, she's done a fantastic job. Can't thank her enough. Out there braving the elements on a cold, windy, rainy, mostly everything unpleasant type of evening. She's outside working double time on 2 cameras. She's the real MVP. So Gaylord finds pay dirt for the 2nd time in this contest. But the 2 touchdowns scored were in vastly different situations and at points during this game. .420 remaining. Vikings look to get possession. We'll see if they decide to dial up some sort of onside kick. They don't. It's Carter Harsh who takes it at the 19-yard line. Harsh. And look at the lasso. Get over here. Austin Vanderveer. Does he have stick 'em on those gloves? Because he couldn't get out of the grasp of Vanderveer. Great open field tackle there from the Blue Devils. Vikings will have their, what could be their final possession offensively. Begin at the 36-yard line, just past that 35. Here we go. We're going to get one more look at Caleb McKinley, the sophomore, taking some reps at quarterback. 2 touchdowns on the evening and a 1st and 10 from the 36. McKinley. And speaking of quarterback sneak effectiveness, we've seen Aiden Gurdon have some effects, just riding right behind Carson Razio and Bryce Benjelink, and big unit up front. They've done a great job tonight for the Vikings. 3:44 remaining in the 4th and final quarter. 2nd and 6 for Cadillac. Running the option is Caleb McKinley, and McKinley is into Gaylord territory, and stiff arms 1 and 2 guys still going. What a run from the sophomore. Couldn't tell if he wanted to run people over or if he tried to want to outrun them to the end zone. Either way, sheds 2 tacklers before he's finally dragged down. And the Vikings are in business with 3:20 remaining, as they'll continue to give this good-looking sophomore reps under center. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 13. McKinley under center. A little communication. Tim Richards now in at fullback. And it's Richards who gets the call. Not a whole lot doing, maybe a gain of a couple. Which will bring up 2nd and 8 with 2:40 remaining. What a dominant performance up front for the Vikings. The Vikings haven't completed a pass this game. They've done all of their damage on the ground. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. 2nd and 8. McKinley keeps it himself. Dives inside the 10-yard line for a gain of 3. Should bring up a 3rd and a long 5. As we are now at the 2-minute mark. And this has been a balanced rushing attack for the Vikings tonight. A little bit of everybody getting to eat. 3rd and 5. Pitch to Reinhold, another sophomore. Reinhold cuts it upfield, and he'll find pay dirt from 8 yards out. Touchdown, Cadillac. 2nd rushing touchdown of the season for the sophomore, Chris Reinhold. 8-yard score. And the Vikings, for the first time this season, have scored 50 points in a game. An impressive performance to finish the regular season for the Cadillac Vikings. Colin Hess on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up. And Colin Hess, 7 for 7 for extra points tonight. And the Vikings, to give you an idea, their previous season high was 27 points in a game. If you want to take momentum into the postseason, the playoffs, this is how you do it. 1:38 remaining. Vikings on top, 51-14. And it looks like the Vikings, when they do begin postseason play, we don't know who exactly they'll be playing yet, but it will be here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. And that's exactly why the Vikings head coach, Cody Mallory, wanted to make sure that they kept their pedal to the metal. They weren't playing any games. They weren't going to get cute. And they were going to say this is a full go. And boy, go did they. Offense has been off and running, and you look on the other side, you know, you gotta commend the Gaylord Blue Devils, who came out and were playing and making plays out there, turning the football over against the Vikings, generating turnovers. They took the lead early on, but they just ran into a team that ran the football at will and defensively put the clamp down. Gavin Freeman takes it at the 25-yard line. And Freeman, 10-yard return before he's cut down by Ben Meyer. First tackle of the night for the junior offensive and defensive lineman, but good job in kick coverage from Mr. Meyer. Running clock, final 70 seconds. We're approaching the 1-minute mark. Adam Dost, new tailback in. Riley Hush right next to him in the shotgun. 1st and 10 at the 35. Dost, quarterback sweep. Doss bounces it outside. Gang tackled right at the 41-yard line. That is going to be Tegan Baker, another sophomore, on the stop. And this very well could be the final play here on senior night at Veterans Memorial Stadium as we're at the 30-second remaining mark. 2nd and 4 from the 41. Doss working out of the shotgun. We'll see if they go to the air. Dost, Gibbs to Riley Hush. And to bring this contest to an end, it'll be Keenan Marr on the stop. And that'll do it as the final game of the 2020 regular season will end with a win for the Cadillac Vikings as they'll finish the season 4-2 record and will be moving on to the postseason as the Vikings top the Gaylord Blue Devils and have defeated them for the 2nd time this season with a final score of 51-14. Stay tuned as we see the show of sportsmanship at midfield. We'll have a post-game show here on Newsnet Sports for the Michigan High School Football Game of the Week.
Doug Glass is ready to make the bathroom of your dreams a reality. Doug Glass is a full-service provider of quality custom shower doors. We offer a wide selection of models, finishes, and glass options. From cast to pattern glass, we can custom build a shower door perfect for your bathroom. Stop in and see the heavy glass displays in our showroom. And remember, Doug Glass also offers puller seal windows and patio doors. We're also your local source for auto glass, from windshields to side and rear windows. Whatever your needs, call or visit Doug Glass today for a free estimate.
Our mission at the Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center is to prepare you for career success. During your junior and senior year, you can explore and train for career options in one of 15 hands-on programs. While you're exploring and training, you can take advantage of free college credits, scholarships, co-op on-the-job training, industry certifications, and career counseling. All of this while you're in high school. Enrollment is easy and free. Are you ready to explore and train for your career at the Wexford Misaki Career Tech Center?
High school sports are brought to you in part by Wolverine Power Cooperative and by Great Lakes Energy. Your local electric cooperative is looking out for you.
Post-game show here at Veterans Memorial Stadium as the Cadillac Vikings finish the 2020 regular season in the win column as they bested the Gaylord Blue Devils 51-14. I'm Derek Tate as you're here on Newsnet Sports. Post-game show for the Michigan High School Football Game of the Week. And this rematch in the Big North Conference started off with the Gaylord Blue Devils not only turning over the Cadillac Vikings offense on 2 consecutive possessions to start the game, but then they actually went on a 45-yard touchdown drive capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run from Quinn Schultz to take a 7-0 lead. But after that point, the Cadillac Vikings would score 28 unanswered points in the first half. First from Noah Cochran with a 20-yard touchdown run. Then on the very first play of the first quarter, it was Carter Harsh with a 40-yard touchdown run. Then what a night from Aiden Gurdon. 76-yard touchdown run and then an 8-yard touchdown run in the closing moments of the first half. They went into the halftime break with a 28-7 lead. And we didn't see Corey Deere, the athletic senior dual-threat quarterback for the Gaylord Blue Devils. And maybe it just, we didn't get any word on exactly why he was put on the bench. But regardless, it was Adam Dost who came in and saw the first 2 snaps to start the second half for the Gaylord offense sail over his head. The first one, a 17-yard loss. The second one wound up being a safety, which then gave the offense for Cadillac possession at the 45-yard line, and they punched it in with a Caleb McKinley score. He also had 2 rushing touchdowns on the evening. Chris Reinhold also added 1. And then we can't forget Gavin Freeman actually scored on, I think it was a 37-yard touchdown reception to make your final score 51-14. But when you look at the momentum that the Cadillac Vikings have taken now into the postseason, they're going to have a game here at Veterans Memorial Stadium after their first round bye in the Michigan High School Football State Playoffs. So Cody Mallory, the head coach of the Cadillac Vikings, did mention how every Friday is a special night, a priceless opportunity given all of the circumstances with the coronavirus and its impact on the 2020 Michigan high school football season. They never take it for granted, and yet we saw on a senior night them put up their best performance of the entire season, and they ride high going into the postseason. Fantastic performance from both sides. Tough, rainy, windy conditions here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, but both sides played hard and finished the 2020 football season on a high note. And speaking of finishing the 2020 football season on a high note, that'll be the final Michigan high school football game of the week here on Newsnet Sports. I cannot thank you enough for tuning in and giving me the opportunity and the honor to be able to call your Michigan high school football games. I am absolutely blessed and honored and grateful for not only you as your viewership, but also our crew here. Wyatt Van Dynen did a great job as a director, as always, for all of these games this season. And the CTC crew, that we get a student that comes in and does a fantastic job. All 3 games this season, they have manned 2 cameras at the same time, simultaneously. That is no easy task, and Miley was the one that did it tonight in tough, rainy, wet, cold conditions. I cannot thank the crew enough. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you so much for what has been a great 2020 Michigan high school football season, in which I'm just glad that we had any football at all. These kids, these coaches, these student bodies, it's been something special, and I'm glad that these student athletes got the opportunity to do what they love on Friday evenings. Speaking of which, thank you so much. This is Derek Tate signing off here on Newsnet Sports.